Hello. This is a short one. I don't really feel like coding right now because I have an early meeting tomorrow. But I just saw something on YouTube and I really need to know what's happening here. Prime has a video where he's basically done with Golang. What is that supposed to mean? I thought this would be something similar to his Rust thing, where he was like he's done with Rust, he wants allocators. I thought it was that, but then I watched a little bit of it, and he said basically this.
Be yapping about mantra for a long time, which is like you go into any Go project, pretty quickly you can feel at home. Everyone uses the same formatter. Every function effectively looks like you would write it to. Everything is pretty constrained in the exact same way because there's really only one way to write Go.
That's the best thing about Go, and honestly, I think it's the only thing out there that's like that.
But those days,
I mean, there is FX, and FX makes your code look a little different. Forget FX, minus FX. This is true.
they're changed, and
Even better, it's fine. But
we're going to be doing a lot.
These are changing.
Really
What
only
does it mean?
one way to write Go. But those days, they're changed, and we're going to be doing a lot of yapping here, so I hope that you're prepared.
I don't get it. I want to see. Before I get into this video, I want to figure out something. I'm just really gonna go to Slack and look at the code channel while I'm not logged in. I'm just logging in live nowadays. I just hope I don't leak credentials. Okay, it's a Google login, so should be fine, I guess. Okay. So let's see if there is something in the Gophers regarding this. Because when Prime makes a statement like that, I'm worried. Right? What is going on, dude? I'm really. Let's see what's happening. Because I didn't hear anything about this on CupperGo. I didn't hear anything about this. Like, literally anything. Okay, CupperGo does have some stuff. Okay. Yeah, I mean, what I had heard was security fixes, right? Free gains from a single flag, okay. Let's look at announcements. 1 to 6, right? Security fixes. Right, and 1 to 5 was the one which had a lot of performance improvements. So I don't get it. What is Prime talking about here? I'm gonna watch the video, of course, but I just want to check these ones just to we can get some context, right? So we have this was 10th June, which was why is in the future? Wait, American time. This is second. This is the last one. This is the one which had the green tea compiler as a default, I think, and it had a few other things, right? It had crypto issues. It had the secret. What is that called? The block, right? It had that. What else? It had some X509 bug fixes. Yeah, this is what they talked about on CupperGo. Okay, I have zero context on this. I did not see anything on Twitter. I have no idea. Let's see.
Prepared because this is one of those passionate yaps where it's like I feel like my childhood's being ripped away from me. Okay.
Dude, I am in the childhood phase right now. Don't do that.
Okay. Now, before we kick off this whole Go apocalypse that I'm going to be yapping about, I do want to kind of give you my first introduction into Go. I think it was right around 2015, 2016. I started writing Go a little bit more seriously, and
That's a very different language.
of course, I became so kind of Go-pilled
Not much.
or Go-brained that there are certain phrases that I couldn't understand about other languages if you said it to me. Like, it wouldn't land on me. A good example is I was at Facebook interviewing. Yes, I interviewed for the performance team. And during that time, they asked me a simple question, which was, hey, how do you return multiple values in JavaScript? Now, me personally, I'm in Goland, and I'm like, bro, you can't do that, okay? Go has multiple return values. JavaScript doesn't have multiple. What the hell are you talking about? And of course, then the person's they thought I was an idiot because they're like, you return an object to dummy or an array, and I'm like, but that's one value.
Yeah.
And I just remember being so offended by that, and I was just so go-pilled I couldn't hear what he was trying to say. You get the idea. I failed the interview so massively on such a stupid thing.
If someone fails an interview or something like this, it's just a stupid interview.
Anywho, so my Go days have been long. I've really enjoyed it. I've used it for quite a few years. And I'd have to say, it's been one of my favorites. Now, before we begin, I'd like to say thank you to the sponsor and a quick word.
Is the camera even on? Why is my camera not on? What am I recording here? What is going on? Yeah. What about it? Background removal is fine, but what is going on here? Really sorry about that. It was fixed on my laptop camera. I just went back to that. I really didn't get why it would do that to me. Why I didn't save it. I did design a tech tips Elijah mistake right there.
It's been one of my favorites. Now, before we begin, I'd like to say thank you to the sponsor and a quick word.
What was that?
Hey, do you like waiting? Yeah, neither do I. With Blacksmith, you get speed, 2x faster hardware, 4x faster cache downloads, and 40 times faster Docker builds. So stop waiting around.
You know what the problem with this is? It's amazing. Okay? Things like Blacksmith, things like Depot are making actions and all really good. But the problem is, if you go and talk about that at work, it's either not going to happen or you're going to be the one doing it. And both outcomes are not what people want. Unless you're a startup, then it doesn't matter. Just try something.
Use their migration wizard to easily transition your repos onto Blacksmith today. Thank you, Blacksmith, for sponsoring this video, and you check out the links down below. Hi. All right, so welcome back. It turns out that now Go and Go 1.27, you can do generics even on method receivers. For those that don't know,
I heard about this, but I didn't think it would matter. Okay.
a long time ago, you could only do it in functions. If you don't know what a method receiver is, effectively you can create a struct, and something that looks like a function hanging off the struct would be a method receiver. It'd actually be a function that's associated with some data, just like an object or a class, and you could never do generics on that. You can only just do it on free-form functions, and that's it. But now, in our new world that we live in, you can now do it on everything. So you can actually see right here, here's a result object, right? And it can have a value v or an error, and I have an is okay function, like, hey, are you okay if the error equals nil? Yes, you are. Okay, awesome. You're okay. And this is generic over the value v, which means I can also do things like this. I can return a result of type foo, which means it has an error, and then I can go in here and do all of this beautiful code where now I have a results object.
I missed something. Sorry.
But now, in our new world that we live in, you can now do it on everything. So you can actually see right here, here's a result object, right? And it can have a value v or an error,
Why do Rust and Go? But okay.
and I have an is okay function, like, hey, are you okay if the error equals nil? Yes, you are. Okay, awesome. You're okay. And this is generic over the value v, which means I can also do things like this. I can return a result of type foo, which means it has an error, and then I can go in here and do all of this beautiful code where now I have a results object, which means I can write code that looks a bit more like this. I can convert a read
Are
object.
you kidding me, dude? This is so nice to look at, but also looks so wrong because of the caps and unwrap and chains. When did Prime talk about this? I really want to look at this code. I really want to build something like this. I would love to write code like this.
Operation into a result. I can then stringify it from bytes, and then I can parse it, unwrap it, and print it right here. If my file contains an error, it's going to let me know, hey, there's an error in whatever you're attempting to parse. If I jump back over here, go in here, jump this thing, and say turn it into 69, nice, rerun this thing, you'll see right here, hello, 69, everything parsed fine. So I know at this point people are looking at this and going, hey, I kind of like that style of code. This would be nice code for me to work
Yeah, then why did you hate Rust then?
on with Go. And I do hear you. This is generally nice code, but you have to kind of take a step back and understand Go from the very beginning. The very mantra of Go is that there's one way to do anything.
Exactly.
Do you think that this is going to lead to one way to do something? Or now you're going to have a cornucopia of different ways in which you're going to do stuff? You're going to jump in.
Wait, could we always do this and it broke now? Or is this something we can do now? I think
the code bases and have no idea how they work. You're going to have to go through layers of abstraction and whole new ways in which to express things, in which is just going to be like every other language, just
Yeah.
without all the conveniences.
Yeah.
A good example of that is if you wanted to do you can't do like a generic convert function where I can convert any function with any length of arguments into a result type. So instead you have like convert 1, convert 0, convert 2, convert 3.
What? Why? There's no variatic arguments because no, generic. In generics, it's not supported. Look, I always find Go generics weird. I mean, Rust generics are a lot more straightforward to me than Go.
I've tried many times to get some version of this working, and I could not seem to get this version of this thing working right here. Whereas something like this
Wait,
in
sorry,
TypeScript,
what is
and
it
I
again?
could not seem to get this
Exactly, right? Variadic, yeah. Why? What's the
version of this thing working right here. Whereas
Okay.
something like this in TypeScript, very easy to do, right? Like, okay, there you go. You can convert any amount of arguments into this. And so it's like the actual genericism that Golang is providing is in fact not that good. But then on top of it, it's just going to make every code base completely different. And this was the entire argument, by the way, as to why they were not going to do error handling. Error handling
Yeah!
has historically always been the butt of a joke for when it comes to Go, because if you wanted to
I don't mind it.
do something like this, print sum, you'd have to take the two strings coming in, convert the first string into a number, which could result in an error, because that makes sense, right? If I try to convert hello into a number, well, it's not a number, it's an error, actually. And so there we go, we have an error. I
You know
convert
what? Honestly, it's not error not equal to nil return error that's the problem. Problem is linter. If this could have been a one-liner if, right, then people wouldn't mind it as much, I think.
B, that's into an error. Then I can finally print, then I can finally return. So that means this is error handling code, error handling code, error handling code. That means there are 1, 2, 3 lines of actual code, whereas there's 1, 4, 7 lines of code dedicated to error handling. And this has always been the big problem. Now, I personally have enjoyed this kind of error handling because that means every single time I do something that could error, I know it and I have to explicitly handle it. Now, granted, there could be some more ergonomics around it, but nonetheless, I've actually really appreciated that about Go. And the reason why they said, no, hey, we're not doing fancy error handling, okay? We're not going to be throwing in tries. We're not going to be throwing in some sort of extra error capture up here. No, we're not going to be throwing in little question marks like we're Rust, okay? We're not doing any of that shit, brother. Okay, we're going to keep go, the end. And honestly, you may not like that, but to me, that is okay because that is one thing I've appreciated about it. Every code base is the same. Now we have a whole new set of problems. We now have iterators. So now you're hiding what's actually happening. Again, another thing I loved about Go. Everything you did, you understood the cost. When you need to iterate over a list, you could understand what's happening. Now all sorts of stuff could be hidden from you due to iterators. We now also have
Yeah.
generics. And in fact, this has led to a very good Here's the deal. If you want a fancy type system, don't use Go.
Use Rust, exactly.
So now that they're adding all these features, you still get all the crappy type system of Go that was good because of the way it was an unabashed procedural language, right? It is purely imperative. Nothing about it was fancy. But instead, it's like you get Rust Lite.
I'm telling you, I mean, that's just one thing, but even like FX, right? I mean, I use it at work, but it's a little. Of course, I wouldn't get this in Go. This. It's nice, it's magical, but it doesn't feel like Go to me, right? I mean, it's like, what do you mean I have to go and just say dot provide new HTTP server? This is gonna be hidden. I mean, again, now that I'm used to it for like last 4 months, I love it. I love the fact that I can clearly have an on start, on stop, and other closures and functions, and the logs are really nice, but I didn't like it when I looked at it the first time. Right? And libraries like these that are doing dependency injection and other syntactic sugar are going to just keep getting more and more and more, opinionated now.
You get kind of like the worst version of Rust or the worst version of TypeScript. Brother, if I wanted those, I should just go and use those other languages. They have significantly better items to offer if this is what I was going for. I used Go for...
Or maybe Gleam. I really want to try Gleam because it's supposed to be the in-between from Rust and Go.
for what it was, not so that it could look like every other language just
I
with
don't
the...
think so. I don't think that they're going to make it look like every other language. But the issue is a very valid point, right? The language is fine. The language just added one small edge casey feature. But there are going to be libraries that use those to make it look like it.
new set of syntax. This is the thing that really bothers me about Go. Go knew what it was. And that's one thing that was very special about Go. A strong standard library, a very simple language. Now, yes, could they have made error handling better? Absolutely. Could they have made enums of any kind?
Yeah!
Absolutely, and I think that would have dramatically made people's life better.
Yeah.
But they didn't. They have chosen to actually add to the language
Iota.
ways in which make it so that every code base is going to be so bespoke now and so much different. It's going to be so much more frustrating than it used to be. Go is no longer the language I like. I don't want to use Go anymore. In fact,
dude, you're using Odin, okay? Which makes you feel like you're using Go Pro Max out there because it already comes with allocators. It has not just a standard library, but it has every other library in the world built into its vendors thing. You can't compare Odin with Go. It's just not realistic. You can't expect people to learn Go, especially nowadays when it's really hard to expect people to learn, period.
I kind of found its spiritual successor. So Odin
I
right here,
knew
the
it,
language
I
that you
knew it.
see right behind me, this thing I've actually really enjoyed because it reminds me so much of Go. It has package level or directory level packages. So everything inside a directory now shares all.
By the way, that's a genius thing about Go that no other Rust doesn't have. I really, really, really miss that. What do you mean I have to go and add mod every single time, right? What do you mean if I have some package, is something Rust there? I think this CFO Christoph did it some time back was Rust, right? Yeah. What do you mean I have to, just so that I have a handlers package and I have an adapters package, I have to go and add a mod RS and I have to then go ahead and have this package available here as a mod and then why, right? Whereas if it's something like Go, I'll show you a Go code just quickly. So I think light function is Go, light function portal is Go. Yeah, I think the ingester is probably Rust, and this is also Go, but I think the portal is a better example, right? So if you look at something like auth, right? So whether I'm in the helpers get username here, or if I'm in adapters models where I have some stuff, or if I'm in mutators, all of these functions, given that they start with a capital letter, that's a weird thing, but okay, sure, given that they are public functions, I can access literally anywhere. Like let's say I go to endpoint, adapters, db, I can just do auth dot whatever. This is so good, right? I really love that about Go and I want every language to have that.
All the types. I really prefer that over file level modules. I
Yeah.
like package level modules or package level directories. Oh, so much better. It also has explicit overloading. I really, really like that. It does do
I want to learn order.
some polymorphism, parametric polymorphism and all that. But honestly, I rarely even feel like I need that. I just program the problem and it works. The language looks good. It gives you complete control over allocations and how
So are we abandoning Zig at this point?
memory works, and it's just so straightforward, absolutely lovely to work with. And that's because Odin knows what it wants to be. It's an unabashed, simple, C-like programming language designed and geared towards games and graphics and that kind of nature. Go used to be the same thing. It was a simple, kind of system-level, server-level language that was designed to sit in this intersection. Instead of being like complicated Java land, you would have something super simple. The build tool, the formatting tool, the how you run it, all into one. It was a self-contained, self-packaged language with a very minimal package management system built into it, such that you didn't accidentally overrun your project. Like, it knew what it was. But now, for the first time, I feel like Go is having its spiritual crisis. It doesn't know what it wants to be. Now, apparently, it wants to be Rust. It wants to, like, okay, I guess we have C++ Lite now. Fantastic. That's all I've ever wanted in life.
Okay, let's look at some positive takes so we get what it is.
So generic methods are finally coming to Go, and I'm very happy about it. To give some
Alright, let's see.
context, generics were not supported in Golang back in 2012 when 1.0 was
Yeah, I
released.
was a kid
It was
then.
only 10 years later in 2022 with the release of Go 1.18 that brought generics to the table. And now we could finally add type parameters to our functions or even define completely generic data structures. And it really helped in writing cleaner code and reduce.
So you have type tree with any. Why would you? Okay. Oh, you're making a linked list. Oh, you're making a tree. Okay, fine. But wait, you don't have to. This is the thing, you know. I came from a dynamic mess of a language, Python, into Rust first and then here. So now when I see something like this, right, where I have a unboxed pointer here, my mind just goes unsafe.
using duplication. But suppose that we also wanted to pass in additional parameters to functions
Okay.
and also have them be generic. No,
Okay.
Golang does not to functions.
Okay, that's all it is, right? So if I have methods which are passed to something, they didn't have generics.
And also have them be generic. No, Golang does not
It's such a niche use case.
like that. What we instead had to do is to define the top level function. No, Golang does not like that. What we instead had to do is to define a top level
What did
function
you
that would
change?
take in our struct and perform the operation that we wish to perform.
It's ugly, but I'm not able to follow it. What are you trying to do? I've not done generics in Go. See, when I use Go, I don't think about these things, right? If I want to think about these things, I use Rust. To Prime's point. I have to see what it did there.
Take in our struct and
Is that 1x? Huh, okay.
perform the operation that we wish to. Golang does not like that. What we instead had to do is to define a top.
Why did you rename the
Golang does
function?
not like that. What we instead
Okay. Oh, it's not this part. It's the fact that search is a method as an associated function to our struct. Okay. And it has a generic argument. And this KD is here. Okay. Why?
instead
Okay.
had to do is to define
So you create a generic function that takes in what? T.
a top level function that would take in our struct and perform the
Okay, sorry. I don't get this example.
operation that we
What are you trying to do? What else, dude? What else?
Hello, my name is Mario. Welcome to another Go video. 2 months ago, Go 1.26 was released, bringing improvements to memory handling. About it. First, regarding internal the experimental green.
This
Go
is not
over.
true. No, not 1 to 6. I'm talking 1 to 7. 1 to 6, I know. 1 to 6 is amazing. I wanted to look at the CuppaGo folks. They usually, or fall through, right? Fall through Go 1.27. Do they have. They did have something. Dependencies all the way down, forging ahead, the country was supply chain reaction. And these are older. Not May 14th, this is supposed to be like now. Dependencies is NPM stuff. Yeah, I don't think these are. It's okay, let's finish Fran's video and then.
Right? I just wanted another thing in which I can have massive abstractions. And
But you know what's gonna happen? Either if somebody wants to build Rust in Go, they will. But I don't know. I mean, FX helps with large code bases and all repos, so that's why it's popular. But I doubt that if somebody makes a Rusty Go library, that people would actually want to use it. I doubt that. Maybe it should be fine. I mean, even today, like lots of people are using Go 118 style, right? We're not using some new stuff. But yeah, there hasn't been a drastic change.
find myself type masturbating all day instead of actually
That term again. Love it.
solving the problem at hand. Thanks, Go. Anyways, I say all this because I'm just getting all fired up because it's like one of the languages that I found very appealing due to how different it was from everything else. Like, I knew that when I used it, I was solving a specific problem, and it was like the best tool for the job. Like it had this very nice
any
kind of
job.
one-to-one reach. And now
Or
with
rather,
Odin, it
for
feels like that too.
job
It's
and for work.
it has this very defined purpose, and I feel like I can just reach for it when I need to solve a certain problem. I don't feel that anymore with Go, and it just makes me feel a little bit funny. I don't know. Well, hey, I'm supposed to do this as a YouTuber. Yo, hey, bro, hey, what's your opinion on this? Honestly, I'll read them. Lay me down some opinions. Maybe smash that like button and the subscribe or something like that. I haven't asked for this in a long time, okay? I haven't asked.
Let's see if I have to. I do want to post something. And of course, I'll probably not be logged into X, and I won't log into X on screen because unless I remember it. Yeah, I have a Yahoo thing about social media. That isn't correct. Okay, forget it.
Asked for this in over 130,000 subs. So why don't you just do it for old time's sake, okay? Me and you, we're gonna feel better together. The name
I missed the stream.
is the Primogen.